Hello, you guys. Welcome back to another fabulous episode of Kinda Hot, Kinda Healthy. I am rocking my pink Bass Pro Shop hat, and that's where we are today. Like, the hair needs to be washed,
hmm
not feeling super cute, but I was like, let me put a hat on, let me, brush the hair, put some gloss on, and make ourselves feel a little bit cuter. Because anytime I sit in front of this camera, I really do need to feel cute because then it's gonna make our topics that much more fun. Because if you're coming on like a hashtag gremlin, you don't feel cute. And you are looking cute with your little hair up. It's giving carefree girl. It's giving working girl.
It's giving the shirt's really tight, but I refuse to throw it away.
Why would you throw it away? That is literally like those types of I love that. Like I'm wearing this.
I do
It's
love
kind
them.
of old, but it's still really like I just love the way it fits. You look super snatched. It just looks put together, even though it's like a just like a basic black long
Mhm.
t-shirt, a basic short sleeve black t-shirt. Like sometimes the fit, it does you
Oh,
so
yeah.
right. Ugh,
I was
love.
watching when I was doing show notes the other day for, I think, episode 64, when I had on that mock turtleneck, I was like, "Oh, I looked so
What
good."
is a mock turtleneck? You said that and I don't actually.
So, a mock turtleneck just goes up and you don't flip it over because it's not super long. It's, like,
Oh.
halfway. Yeah.
I feel like that's like so extra. A mock turtle. I would just call that a turtleneck.
I know that.
Sometimes I cannot breathe in a turtleneck. I'm
I
like,
could see that.
"Ugh." But I love that. Yeah. And that was a really cute outfit. I love like just a sleigh look.
Oh, I was recreating that outfit that with, like, I had, like, the it's a skirt because it was shorts with, like,
Mm-hmm.
one
Mm-hmm.
thing in front. The skirt, I'm gonna get tall black boots, like those timeless ones. Have never had them. We're gonna get them. And then I'm gonna buy new, what are they called? Pantyhose, but lined, like fleece
Yeah.
lined pantyhose that are, like, nude underneath, you know?
Kate has
And
a pair of those and they look, because I've only seen them on TikTok or Instagram, wherever. And I saw them in person and I was like, oh my God, that looks like just a pantyhose. And she goes, yeah, but it's lined. Like, look at this. Like,
I know. That's my
get
goal
it.
to find next weekend when I go shopping. And then my mom gave me a Banana Republic shirt, and it's, that cow neck. So it's like that droop, but it's like
Yep.
a long sleeve, but it's red. So I'm like, "Oh, that would
Yeah.
be really cute with, like, black
Ooh.
boots, black skirt, black legging thingies, and then the red." So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Legging things, pantyhose, tights. Anything, anything. Before we jump in, I remember it just made me think in high school, middle school, my middle school and high school were together and elementary school. We always had to wear like our uniform and the tights. And there would be times where like I could not find tights for the life of me, or if they had a hole in them, like we would get they would like be like, oh, you need to buy new tights. And I'm like, I'm not fucking buying new tights from you. You probably are jacking up the prices. And
That's funny.
okay, well, I'm like doing something. Can you shut the door? Oh my gosh. James, shut the
Thanks.
fucking door. I need to edit this out now. What the hell?
Hmm.
Okay, anyways,
Keep it in, it's
by
funny.
it's hilarious as I'm just like losing my shit because he's not shutting the door. Like I needed like do not disturb sign.
Yes.
I think there is a lock. Oh no, there's no lock on the door. That would, you know what, invest in a new door handle and put a lock on it. Uh
Potting, not potting. Live,
literally.
not live.
Oh my God. Anyway, so the leggings, I would wear if I could not find leggings or
Mhm.
tights, I would just wear leggings and then try and find black socks that looked alike because they were like really, really particular and like just obnoxiously annoying. So I always had to like, if I was really in a pinch, I'd be like, all right, fuck it, I'll just throw on some leggings and then try and find like black socks that look the same.
So were there tights, like, because like, the tights I had on were, like, kinda see-through, so were
Oh
there
yeah.
tights.
I mean, you could wear black um like uh like wool tight like heavy you could wear heavy tights
Oh, okay.
but you could we would always wear like the sheer black or
Yeah.
blue but they were just really weird about like uniform I guess like infractions and so yeah that was just ugh god the worst the fucking worst trying to wake up at like 6 a.m. when it's like cold as shit outside and you're like where are my tights I gotta put this skirt on I'm like why couldn't we wear pants? Like, what is up
Yeah,
with the patriarchy? This is an all-girl school. Why can we not wear pants?
couldn't tell you.
Hmm.
Dang old Pope or whoever's running that school.
Some idiot. So now that we are, this is our end of January episode. Maddie and
Correct.
I have been talking to you this entire fucking month about your goals, our goals, how
Mhm.
to stay on task with your goals. Like this, if you needed a kick in the ass, this series, like this should be a series that we have. I'm going to make a specific YouTube playlist about all of the January episodes because truly, this is a series of
Yeah.
goals and gold.
Goals and gold. And because I want to remember to keep doing this because
Yeah.
I like it for myself as well and as a listener, we're going to be covering our goals, kind of updates on it, even though it's only the 17th technically. We're going to give you kind of like an update what's been happening this month for our own personal goals because I always find like when I hear other people like, oh, I've accomplished X, I've accomplished whatever. It makes me be like, oh, okay, people are doing things, I need to be doing things. Just like if you want to get healthy, and have healthier habits, you're not going to make friends with people that like party every night, right? It's like who you
Yeah.
surround yourself with. We're
Yeah.
going to talk about that. We're going to give a little blood work update that I just got, and that kind of ties into what we talked about last week. We have some pop culture things that are happening that are also ties into last week. And then a DM I got, we're going to talk about that. That was fun too. It's kind of
Love
like
a DM.
literally, I feel like all we do is talk about the DMs I get, but it's helpful for you guys too because women who are in the same position as you are asking these questions or
Mhm.
having these thoughts. So it's really helpful for you guys to learn. I always say one of the best ways, I didn't create this, but one of the best ways to learn is through other people. So you don't have
Yeah.
to go through that and make that quote unquote mistake.
Yeah.
So,
And just an addendum to that,
an
the
addendum.
people that slide into our DMs and ask us the questions, they are the ones that are going to see results faster than you because
Mm-hmm.
they are putting themselves out there and asking the questions and not afraid to look stupid. And the
Uh-huh.
thing is, you guys, never be afraid to look stupid in front of us because we have done some stupid shit. We take
Mm-hmm.
ourselves seriously, but we're also not these like assholes that are just like "Ugh, looking down on you. That was a dumb question." Like, we are here to help you. And that
Mm-hmm.
is why we have the anonymous question box. We're going to put the link
Oh yeah.
below because you guys, we are here to answer your fucking questions. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. This is not a place of judgment. This is a place where you are going to get answers. I just had to add that in because
No, I agree
these
with that.
people that slide into the DMs, you are a real one.
And I even think back to like childhood and so funny, I was talking to my dad the other day about math because
Ugh.
I took stats my 10th grade of high school, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
So it was through a college through Pitt. So it was like college and high school. So it was
Were you
cheaper.
really good at math?
I'll get to that point.
Sorry, sorry,
No,
sorry.
no, no,
Yes.
no, 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 it's fine. So I took a college class in high school. It was cheaper, and then it was a college credit. And I was like, "This is so smart. Why not do
Yeah,
that?"
yeah,
So I have always been really good at school, but if you look at like the smart class, I was like at the bottom. So like I struggled my way, but I was like in those classes, but I wouldn't call
yeah.
myself gifted. I was just a hard worker. So I could like figure it out eventually, but like blood, sweat, and tears to get there. So anyway, pretty much made it through stats. We all cheated. I was telling my dad with our TI 83 calculators, we would
Oh, duh.
we would put a ton of in the notes, like answers.
Duh.
Yeah, but then they got smart and they made
One of
us
our teachers actually told us to do that. It was like, it's there as a resource, use it. And I was like, oh, yeah, duh.
So we had to start clearing our calculators, but they got after my class went through.
Bitches.
I know. After my class went through, they got real like on it, like, you were not cheating, because it's a college class and Pitt could like, I guess, withdraw their kind of like curriculum. Who knows?
Oh
Whatever.
my God.
And I was telling my dad, why am I talking about this? How did this get?
Math. Um,
Oh, I got it.
questions, putting yourself
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
So I was always afraid of looking dumb. The
Mm,
amount of times from like geometry where I got scarred, my beginning of my math career in like eighth grade is where I got scarred of like raising my hand, asking questions. And the teacher was like, that's such a dumb question or something rude like that. Yeah, he was terrible. I kept being afraid to ask questions because I didn't want to look dumb. And like when you're in school, it's like everything you think about is, am I gonna look dumb? Am I gonna look dumb? Like that's all you
yeah,
literally think about because it's where
yeah,
you are like
yeah.
mentally, at that age. So I can't even imagine. I wish I kept count. That would have been nice. Of how many times I like didn't ask a question when I like needed help and then I would fall a little bit behind.
Mm, mm,
So it's just a good reminder of like we're adults. We're not
yeah.
here to ridicule you guys or no one's like that's what the anonymous text box is for. Like you can
Yeah.
anonymously ask
If
a
you
question.
want to put yourself out there, but you have a speck of like doubt or insecurity, do it anyways, anonymously, right?
Yeah.
That really frustrates me because I was always that kid in class and we had a much smaller class. Like my graduating class was 36 girls, I think, maybe a little bit less. So like
Um,
our classes were small and we had like honors and college prep and I was always in the honors because I'm so smart. But I mean like math, I'm terrible at math. Like I don't people are always like, don't say you're bad at something. No, I'm bad at math. Like, I
mhm,
can do addition and subtraction, but I'm probably going to count on my fingers a little bit.
mhm.
It really is overwhelming me. And so I would be that motherfucker every 2 seconds being like, wait, can you like read? I'm like, can you go back? Can you go back? And like,
Uh-huh.
even in college, like, I had to drop, um, like the basic, like, like basically dummy math, like freshman year because I was failing. And I
Wait,
was
what did you do then?
I just took a class like over the summer, but I literally had to drop it because I was like in the freaking teacher's office hours all the time. I was doing all this and she's like, I just don't understand what you don't get. And I'm like, girl, me too, because what the hell is going on? Like it was wild. So like even I mean, from just like my experience, I think we were so encouraged in like our very small school, just to, like always ask the questions and like just keep going, like have this tenacity that like I just got really shameless. And I would be like, I am so sorry. I have no idea what you just said. Like, can you please redo that? Because I'm like, my brain was just like, it was just
Mhm.
like things were flying at me. And I was just like, what is happening? So take it from me. If you ever feel like, was that a stupid question? Just envision me asking a question every 5 seconds. But
Mhm.
science, bitch, that's my shit. Science is where I shine. Mathematics, not so much.
Good stuff. So let's jump into goals.
Goals,
So
yes.
what were your goals that you were setting out for January?
So I was going to begin my dieting phase again, which I am in. We've started it. The scale is already downtrending, which is always a really nice sign. Um, And I like to remind my clients of this, like to remind you guys of this. Like, once you drop your calories, you haven't, when it's been like 2 or 3 days, you haven't lost any weight. It's the water
Mhm.
weight from eating less carbs. However, it's still a motivating thing. You're like, fuck yeah. Like, it
Mhm.
keeps you going. And so, in a dieting phase, I really do like to find things for myself, for my clients that keep us hungry for those goals. So,
Mhm.
started my dieting phase. I'm still doing a little bit more of like high intensity training, which we're going to phase out in the next couple of weeks. Um, and I'm excited for that because it's been harder, but also like I haven't been lifting as heavy just because like we've been intentionally switching up training. But I'm excited to just like get back and like lift heavy and just like be in my power because nothing makes me feel more confident than just like lifting heavy shit and
Mhm.
just like realizing how strong you are. Like some of y'all out here are in your little workout classes lifting 10 pounds when you are moving furniture or you're carrying groceries and you're
Mhm.
doing it in one trip, like that's at
Mhm.
least 50, 60 pounds, right? Like
And
you,
you have like a kid on one side and
yep,
like every single grocery
in
bag in
this,
the
yeah,
other because you're like one trip. And
yep,
then you're like,
yeah, you
but
are way stronger.
I can't pick up the 20-pound dumbbell.
Yeah,
Yes, you can.
you can. You absolutely can. And so dieting phase has been going really well so far. Wedding planning actually feel so much more at ease because I was talking to my therapist and I have agoraphobia, which is just basically in very simple terms, my nervous system gets really, really overwhelmed. What I like to describe it as, I ride a very thin line, and the smallest thing, like low key, throws me over the edge. So the idea of having to do something like a date on the calendar, like, oh fuck, we're doing this on Thursday, that stresses me out and that like can throw me into a panic attack because it's just the feeling of like being trapped. Like I don't like being abandoned, I don't like being trapped. Those are my triggers. So I was talking to my therapist, and he was like, You don't need to try and like be so analytical about it. Like, this is just where you are, and these are you, like, you know what triggers you. And it doesn't have to be so deep. We don't need to dive into why am I feeling this way and how can I solve it. And he's like, It's just a thing you have to do. And that is why you're feeling really anxious. And I was like,
Mhm.
Wow, that was simple as fuck. And ever since, I have just been reminding myself it's just a thing I have to do. These are things I have to cross off a list. I have felt as light as a feather, and we're thriving. So the list of wedding stuff is getting done. We are moving through it. It is graceful, and I am just really, really excited to get married and just like be done with wedding planning. And I also picked up my dress, and I'm so excited. I love it. I love
It
it.
is, like, stupid pretty. Like, I showed my mom, and she was like, "Oh my god." Like, it is,
Yeah.
like, very Cinderella, like,
Yeah.
picturesque. Like, I
She's
was like,
giving sexy queen. Like I'm living for it. I'm gonna get a corset sewn into it. I'm so excited. And it really just trying that on also made me extra hungry for my goals because it's like you have
mhm,
that visual of what
mhm,
you look like, how you want to look, and just seeing all of the hard work come together,
mhm.
it's just awesome. So honestly, January has been on the up and up. It's the 17th right now. It has felt like the longest month of my life,
It has.
but it's been really good, and just I don't know, I'm just taking it day by day and trying to enjoy
Mhm,
more of the moments now that I'm feeling like I have a grasp on like what needs to be done for wedding planning and all that sort of stuff, and
mhm,
just really trying to not take it so fucking seriously. Like
mhm,
at the end of the day, my hairstylist was like, "You have a photographer, you have your DJ, you have your dress, you have the man, you have the food. Why should we get so stressed about it?" And I'm like, "Bitch, you are
mhm.
so right. You are
Yeah.
so goddamn right." So I am very happy with January so far, and I've welcomed so many new women into my world in
Mhm,
coaching, and like doesn't that just make you have all the feels because like they are the people that are getting after their own
mhm.
goals in January. So I love it. How's your January been going?
Man, I can't top that, dang.
Oh, well, as I
Uh,
said, it's been the longest month of my goddamn life.
literally.
If I take a very like myopic view on it, it's been, I hate to say it because it sounds cheesy, but like transformational. Like this January, I'm actually embodying transformation. As like I feel like a
Mhm,
lot of people try and do it with January. They're like, new year, new me, and it doesn't stick.
mhm.
But this is sticking because it's very intentional.
Love that. Love that. I feel like my January has been very, like, revealing, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
like, things that I'm like, "Oh, we have blind spots here, we have blind spots there," and that has been helpful into knowing, okay, what, like, really needs focused on? What needs, like, my undivided attention on?
Yeah.
Um, a couple of the goals I had was doing, like, one fun thing you wouldn't do every other month, and I'm technically counting the one I did December 31st because I'm like, we're just throwing it in there as my January one, which was going New Year's Eve, like dinner and jazz music, and that was super fun. Like I love that, and I was like, I want to come back here more.
Yeah.
So that was kind of like the one thing I wanted to do. Also, doing one fun thing a week. I had been upholding that. Last week's wasn't like super duper fun, but it was still like a little fun, little chillaxing type thing. So I'm still doing that because we know like me and fun department, like we're not like super
You're
tight yet.
lacking.
We're lacking. Fun department's there sometimes, not all the time. Um, so that's been like on, my goals of doing that. Um, what else? Oh, journaling morning and night. I have done it 17 days because I did journal this morning. I've done it all through yeah, I'm like all through January, all through January. And that's been good for me because I get such a dopamine rush before bed to be like scroll, scroll,
Yeah.
scroll, scroll. And like I really want to detach from that. This morning it's 9:55. I have not scrolled on my phone once yet. Um, other than to look at something we were talking about before we started podcasting. But I haven't been on it yet. So that's been really helpful as well. And then also like taking a step back. Like I was talking to our mutual business mentor, and she was like, we had to write something about like our goals and this alternate world, like what will we be doing in our personal life. And she was like, what you wrote, and I like took time writing it, and like when I wrote it I was like, why am I like crying right now
Yeah.
when I was writing it. And she was like, this is beautiful what you wrote, but what you are currently struggling with, if you had that life, you would still be struggling with those things.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god." She's like, "This is your 100-pound weight loss journey right here. How do you
Yep.
lose 100 pounds? 1 pound at a time. So even if you lost all 100 pounds without changing a thing, so you got to the goal without changing a thing, you would regain that weight back because you didn't change the systems that
Yeah.
got you to being 100 pounds overweight." And I was like, "Ah, my god," like it clicked in my head. So like I could have this dream life that I want, but it's the systems that I could be living in that dream life, but not being able to fulfill that dream life because my systems are holding me back currently.
Right. And
And that
even
just
if you got to, like, if you could snap your fingers and get to that dream life without resolving any of the things,
mhm,
it would not be your dream life, right?
mhm,
You
I'd
would
still be
still be
in this.
questioning and being unhappy. And
Mhm,
it just goes back to anything really, like any goals you have. If you could
mhm,
snap your fingers and just be like, I want to be 130 pounds, you're not going to be happy, right? It is
mhm,
not just about a number. It's not just about achieving something to have status or notoriety. If I just make this amount of dollars, I'll be happy. But will you? Will you
yeah,
actually? Like, yes, you probably will have some financial burdens lifted off your shoulders, which
mhm,
that's great. But
mhm,
will you be happy? Will you be
mhm,
satisfied? So I love that
mhm.
you just got the shit just like rocked. You were like, "Whoa, I needed to hear that."
Yeah, and even, like, I even said, like, "Oh, it's so true," like, for people that are taking, a GLP-1 or the shot, whatever, Wegovy, who, don't need it for other
Right,
reasons like
right.
PCOS or, whatever reason you need. I'm not shaming you if you're taking it, just something just to keep in mind.
Yeah.
It's going to potentially give you the result you want, but if you don't work on the internal work, why are you eating more? Why are you binging? All those things. You're gonna gain the weight back once you
Yeah.
stop taking the shot or do
Yep.
whatever extreme method that you're doing. So that was brought to my attention yesterday,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, damn." So what do I do? Took immediate action. Took immediate action. I am changing the patterns that we were seeing, becoming more efficient, doing all those good things. And that's, I could tell, like, I can't, what I want is going to be in a couple years, and that's totally fine. And it's like reminding myself, like, I can't speed my way there. And that's something like,
No.
even when we think when we're not seeing the results yet of the scale going down, of inches coming off our waist, of clothes fitting us faster, all you can do is focus on the controllables, like what
Yeah.
you're eating, how many steps, how much sleep you're getting. So I'm focusing on the controllables right now to get me to where I want to get. I'm not going to sit here and be like, but I'm not there yet. Right. Well,
Yeah.
no, you got to do the work. So it's the same thing as what you guys struggle with getting leaner, losing weight. It's just on a different metric, different kind of
Yeah.
path. So that was,
Absolutely.
like I said, it's been very revealing for me of like the areas I need to work on. And I feel like I've been doing a lot of like personal work, just kind of like
Yeah.
as someone that struggles a lot with the same two things I've struggled with my whole life, overthinking, and then allowing my mind to run a lot. So it's like calming my mind down and finding ways, kind
Yeah.
of like what you
Yeah.
struggle with
Yeah.
agoraphobia is like writing that line is like I
Yep.
struggle with allowing my brain to, if something happens, my brain like goes like to the worst thing and then like I think about it, think about it, think about it. So it's
Yeah.
taking quicker action and not just ruminating on the problem, and my mom struggles with rumination too, so I know it's like mother like daughter. So it's things that I've been working on. So yeah, very revealing, seeing areas you need to focus on. But we're sticking to the goals. I already read one book. My goal is 36 this year. So I love the current series I'm in, and I have like 10 more books of them left. So we're good
What
there.
series is it?
Um it is okay. So it is like 3 or 4, okay, maybe 3, and maybe 3 different series, so they kind of all branch off, but it's the same plot line.
Oh,
So,
so
like
okay. Okay.
there's, like, many they all kind of, like, go off. So there's, like, a set characters, and then they kinda go off. I think there might be 4
Ooh.
different ways it goes.
So
So it's
like
not
there's four main characters in the original series, and then there's a spin-off about A, a spin-off about
Yes,
B.
yes, but they all, like,
Oh.
come back in, like,
Yeah.
they'll be like, blah, 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 and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I've read him, like, 10 books ago."
Ooh.
So
What
it's
is it?
all ba
Drop it. I need to maybe be starting this.
I love it. And it's confusing though. I didn't realize this, so I had to like go back and read some of the books. It's like book 1, book 2, book 2.25, book 2.5. Yeah, so like you have to reading
Oh
it
god
in
damn. I really need the order.
yeah, so like once I figured it out, I was like, "Oh, so I think there's a new one coming." So like she's still writing these books. Yeah, it's let me look at her name really quick. Not that it truly matters, but if anyone is curious.
I'm curious.
It is Rebecca, Zanetti. So there's, like, Dark
What is the series
Protectors.
called?
Okay, hon. Let
Just the
me
original series. We don't need the
the
spin-offs.
original, not 100% sure. I think Dark Protectors.
Dark
Then
Protectors.
it goes off, like, in different yeah,
Ooh.
there's, let's see. The number of books currently okay, number 17 is coming out, in
God
April.
damn. Oh my God, that's like half of your list if you read all 17.
Oh, but I'm already on I
Oh,
am on, um, looks like 9, so
shit, dude.
I know, but it's
Wow.
so good. But yeah, so I'm reading that and, yeah, so that's the updates on the January goals.
Yeah.
We're moving upward and onward. We're killing it, doing all the things we need to do. Wanted to get an update on this because it really tied back into last episode where we talked about the things that cause women to not work with a coach. And if you haven't
Mm,
watched that episode or listened to it, make sure to go back an episode and listen to that because it was very helpful on like
yeah.
if you're waiting until you're consistent to work with a coach or if you're feeling shameful about what you're eating or your lack of movement. So make sure to go
Yep.
listen to that. But this is number 1555 of why having coach is helpful and why we as coaches have coaches.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm not going to stand on hypocrisy. I'm not going to ever in my life be like, have a coach, have a coach, have a coach, and be over here not having a coach in some way,
mhm,
shape, or form, right? Like that's not what we're going to do. Like, we truly believe that even in the best part of your life, having a coach, an outside support system, accountability is everything because you deserve to have that special thing over here. Even, especially when you're a mom, you're running a business, you're going through a huge change in your life and it's positive. Like all of these things, you still deserve to have that space over here where it's just all about you.
mhm.
And we stand on business on that.
Yeah, we and that's on that. So, I was due to get some new blood work, and as
Mm,
I keep touching my head, not because my scalp is bad, which is good, but because I had to get a HTMA and heavy metal test, and you test your hair. And my dad,
I
my
envisioned they put a needle in the back of your neck. That's why I was like, I was grimacing. I was like, no.
No, you're supposed to take 5 to 6 small areas, and my dad I have literal huge bald patches, I'm just like,
You like shave it or what?
No, you, like, basically go as close to the scalp as you can go, but you
Oh,
wanna do numerous spots, and so
yeah,
he was just trying to they give you, like, a little scale, he was just trying to tip the scale on the first one, and I was like, "Dad, that was so much hair," so I have this huge spots that are just like yeah, but it's fine, like, it's
sir,
hair,
sir,
like, it's
please, please be more controlled when you're chopping my hair.
he didn't read he was just, like, examining the instructions for so long, and I was like, "Oh," and he's like,
Oh
"It
my
tipped
God.
over." I'm like, "We need 4 more spots."
I'm dead. I am dead.
So, I laugh because it's whatever, it's hair, you know?
It's fine. It's at least it's under, it's not like
Yes, yeah,
okay,
and
good.
it's not summer, I'm wearing my hair down, my
Yeah.
hair is not down to my ass anymore, so I'm not, like, dying of heat. So, anyway, that was funny, but, I got that done, and I got, like, a whole plethora of blood work done, and, of course, I get it back next day because it's fairly quick, and I'm
Yeah.
looking through it. I'm like, "Oh, I'm just gonna peruse it," and my coach doesn't she's gonna look at that with my HTMA results, like, in, like, 3 weeks when it comes in. So I'm like, "Oh, I have some time before we look at it." I saw some red flags. And then I'm, like, immediately spiraling because just like you guys, if you see a shift on the scale, you're gonna think back to, like, your worst, quote, unquote, "worst moments" where you
Yep.
were out of control eating, where you were heavy, where you were not comfortable, where that number was climbing and climbing and climbing. My
Yep.
mind went to the same thing, just in a different way, to when I was sick, to when I couldn't walk, to when I was having suicidal ideation, all of these things, that's where my mind went to. I'm
Yeah.
texting Allie, I'm spiraling. I'm texting my coach, I'm spiraling. She was like, I didn't look into it yet. We're going to look at it later. What result did you see? I'm like, I saw this one was high and blah, blah, blah. And she was like, okay, let's relax. Let's take a calming breath. And let's think like one thing does not predict everything. So just like
Yep.
with you guys, when the scale tips up a little bit and you're like, oh my God, I'm going back to obesity, right? One metric is not everything. I even have a client, we're in a
Yep.
diet phase in our third week, the one I talked about recently in December, how we planned out our diet phase for the year. And the scale tipped up and we were realizing she has a little bit of an intolerance, so to speak, with white rice.
Yep.
And she didn't freak out, but she was like, this is really interesting. We dove into it, right? But if we looked at
Yep.
that, like, oh my God, she's gaining weight in this diet phase, like she's broken, right? We have a coach. Every one of us has a coach because
Yeah.
we bring our clients back. My coach brought me back to reality of we don't look at one thing as the end all be all. And it's this is like we're ruined, we're a mess, we're broken. We're
And
gonna
it's your subjectiveness
Mhm,
is nothing matched to your coach's objectiveness
mhm. And
because
what
we are it's our body, it's our
Mhm,
life. We are like, holy fuck, what the hell is happening? And then
mhm,
you have somebody that you trust, they support you, they're a wealth of knowledge, and their energy just being like, hey, I see you, I got you. Like we're gonna work this through. One
mhm,
piece of data is not the end all be all. And
mhm,
so that is also why having a coach is so important because what are you going to go bitch to your mom, bitch to your friend, and they're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. That's horrible. Versus
mhm,
your coach is going to be like, I'm so sorry that you're feeling this way, but we have data to look at and we're going to
mhm,
work through this together. And this
mhm,
is nothing more than just a data point and we've got this, right? Like,
mhm. What
so
did we say a while ago, right? Coaches, we as coaches, we take the emotion out of it.
yes.
And that has she took the emotion out of it. I was like, "Okay, yeah. No, you're totally right." And as I've been working on the way I see things and not being so negative, I was like, "You know what? We are still struggling with a few
Mm.
issues. If
Yeah.
my blood work and everything came back super fucking clean, that wouldn't have helped us. We would've been
Nope.
like, "Okay, what new tests do we need to take? What area have we not dived into yet?" So it's remembering, like, you can look at a a test result, or the scale is spiking, or as being a little bloated today as like, oh my God, it's the worst thing ever, or as just a clue of somewhere else that I can focus my attention on to get to the result. It is just, it's a
Hmm.
positive message, because no message when you're trying to work things out with your health isn't helpful, right? It's
That's
not
more
helpful.
infuriating because you're
Yeah.
like, there is no red flags.
Yep.
Why am I still feeling the way that I am? Why
Yep.
am I not losing weight? Why is my acne out of control? All of these sorts of things. Um, and I just really appreciate and admire the way that you have this willingness to not give up. You allow yourself the emotions, which we all should, but then you get right back on it.
Mhm.
And that is a quality that not a majority of people, they just do not have. Like they don't have
Mhm.
this stamina to keep going even when things are not looking the way you would hope for. And that's again another reason why we have coaches, because we learn from them. Like
Mhm.
2020, Maddie would not be in this place. And if she got that news, she'd be like, well, fuck it. There's nothing I can do. If you never hired a coach and now we're in the year 2025, if you went to go get this blood work, you wouldn't know. Sorry.
It's okay. Bless you.
You wouldn't know how to move through it in a way that's
Mhm.
productive. It would have just bogged you down. And
Mhm.
so that is even something worthwhile to remember on your worst days. You're like, well, fuck, at least I am 2025 Maddie, and I have a good grip on what I'm doing, and I know I'm not going to give up, and I have the stamina of a fucking racehorse. I've got this. And, it just, you gotta sometimes in those darkest moments allow yourself the feels, but then just like get right back to that place that you know you are. And I just really appreciate that because it's good to be surrounded by people like that. Because if I wasn't surrounded like people like you, or other people in my life, I could very well settle into this just like agoraphobic life that
Mm.
I would not really like. I'm going to be honest. It sucked. So, like a couple years in 2019, 2020, 2021, they were not good for me.
Mhm.
But I have people that are willing to push me and just even motivate me from their own experiences that I'm like, yeah, yeah, we're not tolerating life. The conversation we had last night. We are not just tolerating life here. We are living our life. So I think that is just such an important message for our listeners to hear across any, like whatever goals you have, whatever you're dealing
Mhm.
with.
Yeah, I think it's like a never-ending pursuit with anything that you're
Yeah.
doing, and I was just listening to a podcast earlier, and it was talking about, like, a lot of people have, like, just big financial goals. They
Yep.
have out everything is very aesthetic outward, but, like, you can see such progress by, instead of trying to become wider, like, with the things you
Yeah.
accumulate, like, let's go deeper. And I feel like in the past, I don't know how many, I would say more in the past couple months, but I'd say maybe 6 months, like, I've
Yeah.
just going deeper, going deeper, going
Yep.
deeper. Like, I just want to keep exploring things that hold me back mentally and, like, physically. Like, somatic therapy was, like, my beginning stages of going deeper and understanding myself better and my
Yeah.
reactivity, and, like, I feel like I've definitely gotten more of a control on my reactivity, and, like,
Yeah.
just things that I noticed, like, even with my dad the other day, we were at AAA, and, my dad, and I'd be fine saying this to him because I've said this to him many times, he's very judgmental, and, I found myself being very judgmental growing up and just as an adult,
Yeah.
and I'm like, "I don't wanna be judgmental," like, that just feels, like, icky to me, like, bad energy, and I've always believed in
Yeah.
karma, like, I've always believed in karma, but now I believe and understand to a different level, and my dad was being judgy of someone in AAA, and, I can't remember what he said, but I was just like, "Why are you being judgy?"
Yeah.
And he was
Sometimes
like,
it's so satisfying for yourself to not lean into it.
"Yeah, it
Like,
was," and I'm like, "I'm
you
not."
could be like, oh yeah, but it's also like, why? Why are you doing that?
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to come from it like I always put myself back. I'm like, I am not being my goal with this is not to be superior than someone. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not judgy. Look at you being now you're like judging the judger.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But like I was just like, why being judgy? And he was like,
Yeah.
and he goes, good point, good point.
I mean, honestly, sometimes I think it is just like out of your mind idling, and you're just like, maybe I don't know what to do with these thoughts. I need to always be thinking, always be talking. And
That's not his problem. His problem is judginess. Like
yeah, I mean,
that.
honestly, I think a large portion of
Mhm,
people's parents are extremely judgmental just from like
mhm,
looking at the age groups, right? Like, and I have caught myself like sometimes like me and my girlfriends will be like gossiping because like gossiping is just a form of connection with
mhm,
your best friends. And then I'll be like, you know what? I just don't really care. Like you know what?
mhm.
You know what? I see her. She's rocking it. She's doing her thing. And sometimes my friends will be like, come on, Allie. And I'm like, I know, but she maybe is a little annoying, but I'm sure people find me annoying. And like, it's just sometimes I think as you grow up and you're just like a woman and you're looking at peers, or even if people are just like fucking annoying, it's like they're not doing anything wrong. They're just not my cup of tea. And that's okay. If you're a
Yeah.
genuine asshole, I will judge you. If you're a genuine asshole.
Mhm.
But if I'm like, you just kind of give me the ick or you're a little annoying, what's wrong with that? Yeah, again, people find me annoying, I'm sure. We just gotta,
I'm sure.
I mean, people probably are just like, God damn, not bitch again. She is just going off. And it's like, you know what? It's true. I talk a lot. I'm not for everyone, and that's okay. So I like that you questioned, and he was just like, yeah, you're right. Like, but did he go on in judging?
No, he stopped in his tracks.
Yeah,
But, I think it came from personal judgment because and this is
certainly.
and this is also like, no one take this the wrong way, like, he is living proof of this. He was judging, these people who could barely speak English and
Sure.
came in, and I was just thinking, like, that was probably him feeling self-conscious for the years when he moved to the States and could not speak English.
Yeah.
So, it was probably just something from his own self-conscious and feeling
Right.
like now maybe he's a little bit better than them because he
Sure.
speaks English totally fine. I'm like, "Sir, you're not being a citizen, like, shut your mouth."
Yeah, but I totally it makes sense because I'm
Mhm,
sure he faced a shit ton of judgment
mhm.
and ridicule.
Yeah,
And now that is he totally fluent in English?
yeah.
Okay. Now that he, can communicate no problem, he's like, I've done this, I've accomplished this, like you should do it too. I mean, it makes sense when you take a step back, but then it's also baffling because you'll have again people that like immigrated to the US that then judge other immigrants. And it's like,
Mhm.
that is what
I
I don't understand. I mean, obviously I was born here. I'm a white woman.
yeah.
Like I have a lot of privilege, but I'm just like, I don't get it. Like that is
I think it's probably also a little bit of anger kept in
yep,
you because
certainly.
you're angry for what you experienced. You wanna make sure, like, "Well, I had that, and you have to go through that through too." I'm
That
not
makes sense.
saying that's what he told me because he didn't tell me that, like, I'm
Right.
not trying to, like, just bash on my dad here, but that could be I could see that being something because
Sure,
I
sure.
spent a number of years being angry for things that happened to me, and I think I was just an
Oh
angry
yeah.
person because of that.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's just a lot of I've been doing like a lot of thinking on that and just like taking radical responsibility for things, even if
I
it's like,
like that. Radical responsibility, but
yeah,
true.
and people hate that. People we could do we should find someone to talk to about that because I have so many
People
thoughts.
hate to see a radically responsible girl coming into the mix.
No, well,
No, but
they
it's
hate
true. It
they
is true.
well, I don't think they hate to see someone come into the mix. I think they hate the idea of taking their own responsibility
Yeah.
for every single thing that happened to them because they have to take responsibility for the bad things that happened too
Yeah.
and how they reacted. And that's hard. I know many people who will not take
Never.
ownership and continue to stay in victim mentality.
Yeah.
And their life just becomes one, oh, this, oh, woe is me, oh, is that. And you
Yeah.
just see that downward trend. That's a whole nother topic. We should find someone cool to
Yeah,
talk about
bookmark
that.
that
Yes,
because that is when you're doing show notes, write this part down if you can
yes,
remember.
yeah.
We're at 10:19,
I
so
know
it's
we'll have to
Write
we
that
will.
down, but write that part down that we were at 1019 so you can kind of figure out where it was in there.
Yeah.
But let's before we, because these unfortunately, you guys, oh, should we do a little bonus for the YouTube with because January
Oh.
is a little bit shorter. So do
Oh
we want
yeah.
to kind of wrap it here and then you guys can head
Yes.
over to YouTube for the
Yeah.
extended cut? January is a month of 5 Wednesdays. You guys know we love to pod. We come here for free. We are not making any money off of this. So we are going to keep things to where they need to be so that we do not have to upgrade our account for more storage. So if you want to continue this episode, because we're going to talk about Spencer and Heidi and the renaissance from the hills
Mhm.
to they're losing everything in the California fires and how devastating that is, and the
Mhm.
work that they are doing right now to rebuild everything for themselves. They're just one of the many people that are doing this. And so we want to talk about them, the renaissance of it all.
Mhm.
And did we have anything else we were going to cover over on the YouTube?
Um, no, we'll just keep it to that. We can
Yeah,
keep the one DM thing to
perfect.
next February.
Perfect. Okay, you guys. So find us on the YouTube. It's kind of hot, kind of healthy. Do not search kind of hot, kind of healthy podcast. You will not find it as easily. Just search kind of hot, kind of healthy. I will put the YouTube link below. If you are not yet following us on Instagram, again, it is kind of hot, kind of healthy. If you are not following us on TikTok, it's the 17th. I don't know if TikTok's going to be here. I have hope. If it is here on the day you're listening to this, go follow us on TikTok as well, because the more of your support that we get, the easier it is for us to keep bringing you content.
Yes,
And that's on
and
that.
we want those sponsors so that we could do more. We would love to
Yes.
do 2 episodes a week, so
Yes.
keep following, keep sharing, and I feel like we kind of gave the outro already, so we will see you on YouTube. Bye.
Bye. Hello, you guys. Welcome to the extended cut. So we're talking about the Spidey of it all, Spencer and Heidi, Spencer Pratt, Heidi Montag. First, before we kind of dive into what they're doing now, did you ever watch The Hills? Did you ever watch Laguna Beach?
Here and there, but, like, I don't I it's on my list. I'm like, "Oh, I should watch those."
Okay, okay. So if you watched The Hills, you have an understanding of this. I'm gonna just kind of tell Maddie a little bit. It's obviously very scripted for like a reality show. Like at the
Mhm,
end of the series, you kind of see like I think it was Brody, Caitlyn Jenner's son.
mhm.
And I forget who his mom is, but it doesn't matter.
Oh,
He's
wait, pause. Is Brody, like, doing anything, like, in this world still?
I don't know what he's doing. I know him and he is his fiance or wife, they have a baby now. I literally only saw him pop up on my TikTok because he used Heidi's song and Spencer
Aw.
reposted it because of course I follow Pratt Daddy. And so at the end of the Hills series, you see Brody is on like the back lot of like, Universal or wherever it is. And like you kind of see like the background start to fade away. So it's supposed to be like, yeah, this has been more produced than you guys actually thought it was, which that was really cool in the early 2000s. It was like, whoa, like it was low
Mhm,
key mind blowing. So everybody really hated Spencer. He was like the villain. And then therefore, they grew to really not like Heidi because like Heidi and
mhm,
Spencer were together and he was
mhm,
always, they were always causing like a ruckus and he talks about in the past, years, he's like, guys, it was all staged. Like when I showed up with like these playmates, like Heidi knew that we talked about it beforehand. Like they were always doing things to like get the ratings up and like
mhm,
they were on the same level of like, yeah, let's do this for the show. Let's do this for the show. And so everybody really was like anti Spidey
mhm.
and
Why do they call him Spidey?
Spencer and Heidi, just their
Ah,
celebrity name. So then fast forward to the California fires, which were absolutely devastating. So many people lost everything. And we talked about this on last week's episode, if you missed it, how we need to all be human and not be like, oh, these celebrities, they who cares if they lost this? They're rich, they can rebuild. Sure, if you have more money, you have the financial means to rebuild, but on a human level, it's devastating. I couldn't
Mhm.
imagine people putting all of their money into a home,
Mhm.
especially like when you're like have a beautiful home and it's curated and you're putting all this money in, like I would be devastated if my house burnt down, knock on wood. You know what I mean? I can't
Yeah.
even imagine having put so much into it. So their home burnt down, unfortunately, and it was this really gorgeous home. It's where their kids grew up in the home. They're little babies now. And Heidi was talking about she was like, "Oh, Spencer was saying grab things. Like we got to go." And she's like, "I didn't even know what to grab. Like my brain just froze. I like grabbed my kids' teddy bears and some clothes." And so they have been now on TikTok just like going fucking balls to the walls because again, this is the 17th of January. I don't know if TikTok's still around, unfortunately, but Spencer has been just making videos constantly because he has a crystal company. It's like Pratt Daddy Crystals. And a lot of the things that were in their home was like some of the business stuff. Some of the crystals were in his home. So like losing
Mhm.
inventory. Um, you have equity in your home. That burns down. You no longer have that equity.
Wow.
Your that's your safe space. So now they're on TikTok and he is just going balls to the walls about trying to get on podcasts. He's like, everybody stream Heidi's album, buy it on iTunes, do all this sort of stuff. And they're having their renaissance moment. And I will be honest, I was a Spidey hater. I loved LC. I was a ride or die for Lauren Conrad. I look back and I'm
Mhm.
like, what was I on? Was I like smoking crack in my like little like I don't know, was I like 10, 11? Like I was so young, but I am here for the renaissance of it all. And this sounds so cheesy. TikTok is such a community
Mhm.
because everybody is just like streaming their Flavor Flav is like streaming, like putting like Heidi's song. It's like support my girl Heidi and Spencer. You have all these random celebrities, all these just creators, whether they're micro creators, they're huge creators, random people, us, we're using their songs and they are projected to she's projected to make like upwards of $1 million from the song because on iTunes I think it's like 70 cents per song and
Wow.
then if you're streaming it on TikTok, I don't know if they get money from that, but it certainly gets views and people are like, "Whoa, I got to go stream this." And
Mhm.
it's just I just feel for a moment I felt hope in humanity because I was like, wow, we have
Mhm.
watched them lose everything and now people are like this is the people's princess. Heidi Montag is the people's princess and Spencer wearing a shirt on the news when they're doing an interview that says Heidi Montag, like he is wearing a Heidi fan shirt. I'm like,
Aw.
everything. It's everything.
So I have some follow-up questions.
Yes, of
So
course.
did
I am the TikTok correspondent.
you are. I've been trying not to spend time scrolling, so like
Don't worry, I'll do it for us.
I'm like Allie has to hold down.
Doomsday is in like 2 days. Catch my screen time being up. I don't care. I don't care.
Uh, um, what was I gonna say? So did this renaissance only the big push of the album that she had done only occur because of the house burning down?
I believe so
Okay, I was
because
just curious about that.
I had followed Spencer, but he wasn't on my For You page as much. But since the their home burnt down, like he started filming and he didn't really anticipate for it all to be gone. And so then he is kind of like coping just through filming and
You
sharing
mean
and
like he was filming around the house and then like the next video the house is gone like that?
he was talking in the video before their house burned down. You can like see the fires coming in and he's like this would be like our worst nightmare if our home burned down. Like, everybody, like, if you pray or good thoughts, like, whatever, like, please, like, this is our home, like, this is devastating. And then in the next video, I believe it was he showed a screen recording of like the ring footage, and you can just see like the fires ripping through,
Oh,
like traumatizing. And then he just started going like mask off, and like it was videos every couple of minutes, and
yeah.
to have it monetized it had to be like over a minute. And so people would consider it he's crashing out online, but I saw it as like he's like, I don't know what to do for my family right now. This is how I can
Yeah,
provide
that's not
for my
crashing
family
out.
in this
Yeah.
moment. People are like, Spencer, take a break. And it's like, you have just gone through something really traumatic. Like your brain is not going to be like, oh, I can chill, I can take a break. It's like, I'm going to do whatever I can do for survival mode. And that was it. And then people he started using like Heidi songs as the audio, and like he would talk over it, but he'd be like, everybody stream this, buy it on iTunes, whatever. And then it really just started picking up.
Oh,
And
okay.
like again, other celebrities and everybody was just using it. And like you see, like they're just like looking in the camera, and it's just like, I'll do whatever you like, I'll do it.
I love that. So I caught one of them where he's like, it was just such raw emotion. Like I think you can
Mm,
tell. I feel like I can tell when someone's like crying on cue versus like actually like
totally.
crying. And I think it was he's done so many. I can't be like his last one. He probably has done 50 more by now. Um,
Probably like 350 more.
yeah. So he did one where he was just like, we put so much money, and I looked it up. So in 2010, they spent $2 million on the album
Yeah.
that the song that they're talking about in 2010. So that was probably like 3.5 million now. And he said they put everything they had into it,
Yep.
and now for it to finally take off. Like, and he was like crying. He's like, "Thank you so much." Like, and this kind of ties back to what you're talking about last week is like the mindset around there's no wasted energy, like how Ali had
Yeah.
a semi-traumatic experience with a coach that wasn't like exactly what you needed and took you through paths that you like weren't ready for or it didn't make sense for your goals, and it put you backwards in the plan, but it also helped you propel you to the coach that you are now and be able to
Absolutely.
support women better. But for them as well, like that probably was hard putting all that money into that album in 15 years ago, and now for it to finally take off. Again, back to the theory, no wasted energy ever.
No wasted energy ever. And to be fair, I don't know why it was like Flop Tropica. Like that music is lit. I think it was really just like people were so anti-Spidey that it was just like, ugh, like they got icked out. But I'm
Mhm.
sorry, play that shit in the clubs. I will go back to the clubs to listen to that. I'm sorry. It is a vibe.
Mhm.
This is the promo. Go listen to it. We're out here supporting people, okay? And while you're at it, go listen to Leighton Meester's music as well, because her and her super cute husband, Adam Brody, I think his name is, they also lost their home. And go listen to their music too. Listen to
Mhm.
music, people's music, all right, you guys, go fucking on iTunes. I don't know what to tell you. I was so like, I will tell my kids this is the greatest love story of all time. Like he loves her so much. He is just I just can't like watching this unfold, and every like again, hope for humanity, seeing the real rawness of this relationship. Like they have lost legitimately everything, and he is out here doing the most to support his family, love his wife, just
Mhm.
defend her, like protect her from like these news outlets that are uh like fans ridiculing Spencer and Heidi for crying after losing their home in the California fire when there were these rich celebrities. And like now Spencer's on this whole like soapbox of like, oh yeah, sorry, I didn't realize we were like these rich celebrities who could like rebuild their home. Like watch my video for a minute and 1 second so I can become this rich celebrity. Like he's poking fun at it, but it's the truth. It's like just because like you have a name for yourself, like you were on reality TV how many years ago? Like you are
Mhm.
not a rich celebrity. You have notoriety, but
Mhm.
you're not a rich celebrity. People are just dumb as fuck sometimes. But Man, if you like crystals, again, I am hire me or don't hire me. I'm doing this pro bono. Go to Pratt Daddy Crystals. Like, I just feel so just like
I've never
hopeful.
looked at his crystals.
He's like super into crystals, super into hummingbirds. Like when they found out they were
Aw,
pregnant with their first child, like hummingbirds like were around their home. And so like
aw.
he makes like nectar. Obviously it's terrible. So much wildlife was killed in the fires. So all these hummingbirds that were like around his home, unfortunately, they're probably, you know what I mean? Like
Aw.
it just it's horrible. And so I just really appreciate how raw they're being and
Mhm.
how they are willing to do what it takes to provide for their family. They have not slowed down the grind, and that's fucking crazy incredible.
I'm just looking at his thing now and oh he Spotify.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. Just today, okay, today.
Also, do not play the songs if it gets picked up.
No, no,
Well,
no, no, you couldn't hear it. Just today. He's posted 3 so far today.
yeah, I mean, it just and the whole thing about also like the potential TikTok ban. Again, this is the 17th, so when this comes out, we will have known. This is
Mhm.
people's livelihood. This is how people are feeding their families. It's
I know.
fucked up. Like, of
I know.
course, people will be like, "Oh, a social media influencer, blah blah blah." But it's like if this is how people are making money, paying their bills,
Yeah.
putting money into the economy, providing food on their tables, like
Yeah.
it's actually so fucking crazy. So I really just really appreciate this the Spencer and Heidi of it all having
Mhm.
their renaissance, basically giving an FU to all the people that were like so hateful back in the day, but like in a way that's like not like fuck you guys, but it's just like look at us like shining. We're having this renaissance. Heidi's album is like at number one. Like, who could have thought?
Who could have thunk?
Crazy. Yeah, I mean,
Thunk.
I just, and this is why I feel like it's kind of like cringy, but this is why I love reality TV sometimes because
Mhm.
you get these characters and like people kind of they turn into something for TV because obviously the views they want to keep their spot on the show. If you're just like boring as hell, no one wants to watch you. And so then just to get to like see them in this like their real authentic self,
Mhm.
man, like my heart is just I can't I don't know what it is, but I am like I think I've talked about this before, but like there are some people that I just feel so energetically just like attached to, and I don't know why. And I'm just like, I feel all of their feelings. And I'm just like, I don't know you. I don't, it's super weird, but like when I talk about them, I get emotional. Tell me why.
Oh, it's that parasocial relationship that you taught me about.
Bitch, girl, the parasocialness of it all, like I might actually be deranged.
No,
I would
I
say mentally ill, but I am. Like that's not the problem. It's like a
yeah,
level of
we have
like
that box
deeper.
checked
Yeah, it's
already.
already checked. We're good.
We can't double check it.
Yeah.
Uh,
But do you not have any parasocial relationships?
I
So
think I
weird.
do with, like, book characters. Like,
That's fair enough. They're not real. Yeah,
because
you don't
like,
actually know them, so parasocial, sure.
I mean, mine are not anything alive. I don't know what's worse.
Yours are just like
My
people's
imagination.
imaginations.
Yeah, I don't know what's, crazier. But yeah, no, I will like, there's like, I can't remember what series it is. I did not finish it, not because it was bad, but because, I just, like, fell off or who
Yeah.
knows what it was, I don't know. And my sister will send me, Instagrams or reels or TikToks, and it's like, "Who am I married to?" And it will say, like, the name, the book, like, one is, like, Zane, everyone talks about from, Fourth Wing or something like that, I think that's what it's called. But yeah, I'm like, literally. But yeah, no, I feel that with books a lot because I took a step back from, like, a lot of reality TV stuff, just because I've been into YouTube a lot and watching interviews and stuff like that, which I love, like, YouTube is so I feel like it's so
Bitch, I've been
underrated.
telling you. I've been fucking telling you from the day one of this podcast.
Okay, but you're watching YouTube creators like hair, right?
Hair and makeup. No, I'm here for the hard facts of it all.
Like what?
I'm okay, like what? Let's calm it down with that judgment, Missy. I am watching Trisha Paytas.
Oh, okay,
I'm
okay.
watching, if I don't watch Hassan Piker on Twitch, I watch like re-uploads on YouTube. He's like a super hottie and like political like commentator, and he's just like,
Oh.
daddy. He's so
Mm,
hot. There's a
mm.
video of him like squishing a watermelon in between his thighs.
Who is this?
Hassan Piker, he is
You're on TikTok
literally
right now?
go on and go look at his Instagram. He posted an Instagram. I don't even know if we can show on the YouTube.
How do you spell his name?
Uh Hasan
Hasan. Okay.
Piker. If you scroll down, there's like a picture of him in the mirror, like with his underwear. You will see it is hashtag not safe for work. I opened up Instagram and that was the first picture that came up. And I like literally threw my phone. I was like, I am in public.
I'm in public. Why can't I find his
Are you not on Instagram?
I am, but
Hold
like
on.
these are probably that's a fake one.
Hold on. Let me find it. My phone also fell on the floor, so I had to just pick it up. Let me see. I'll do it just what you like. I'll
No,
do
no,
it.
no. That's Piker.
Okay, how did
I think
you
because
not?
I've never searched him.
It's Hassan D. Piker, which I didn't know. But here, let me show. This is what he posted.
Yeah, that's not safe for work.
It's not safe for work. I might need to blur that out, but he is so hot. I just can't. He's so hot. And he's so intelligent.
I still can't find him.
Oh my, okay, I will literally send you a post. This is getting ridiculous how she cannot find my husband. It's fine though. It's probably better she can't find my husband. Okay, I just sent you a pic.
I'm probably searching the wrong thing.
And I just sent you it on Instagram.
Ah, Turkish. Oh man, do I love Turkish food? I
I'll eat that
literally
snack
did not
right
know
up.
stories. What?
I said, I'll eat that snack right up. So they're who I'm watching on YouTube predominantly.
Mhm.
Um, and I'll watch other like creators. Like there's this girl, she does like makeup. I forget her name, but she'll also like recap shows.
Mm,
Really just anything that feels like comfort content.
love
So
that.
sometimes it's vlogs, sometimes it's random shit, but like my two definitely like if I had to like look at like top watch, it's Just Trish podcast and either Hassan Piker re-uploads or I watch that on Twitch.
Cool.
She goes,
It's
you, you are a loser.
no, no. I'm like going through. I just started watching the Diary of a CEO. He has some
Oh,
good interviews.
but so you think you're like superior because you're watching like intellectual content?
No, but I just took a step back from reality TV content because I was like, "Ah, I want to do something that just like makes me think about something differently, or because like sometimes I just get
Politics. Hassan, get you thinking.
true. Yeah, I should. I try to stay
Trisha
away
is
from
my
politics.
cleanser. After I watch Hassan
Mm,
cleanser, Trisha's my cleanser.
I
Sometimes
got.
the world is heavy.
I get that. All
I
right.
get that.
Well, I feel like that's on that. Yeah.
And that is on that. YouTube is my home. If TikTok, I remember TikTok is our home. You know that saying, the thing? Are you frozen? You were like, Gordon, you were
Nope.
like you were really still for a second. You've never heard like the CEO of TikTok be like, TikTok is our home.
No.
Oh, wait, okay, man, you are all over the place. You
All right.
you might need to get on my For You page because it's good stuff. But TikTok is my home. If
Uh-huh.
TikTok is goes away, then YouTube is my home. And
Okay.
that's why you guys should be watching us always on YouTube and subscribing. If you're watching the extended cut and you're
Mhm.
not subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit all
Yeah.
the fucking buttons, please,
Comment
because
how much you love us.
comment your thoughts on Spidey. Go stream Spencer, Heidi's album. Do it
Mhm.
all, you guys. Hit the
Mhm.
damn buttons, okay? Just and you know what?
Mhm.
If you want to help us, put our podcast on. You don't even have to watch it. Just put it on YouTube, let it play. Get that watch time up, please.
Send to your friends. Our goal was
Yeah.
115 subscribers by the end of last year, and then we hit it, and then we had people unsubscribe.
They
So we're
they're not ready for the truth. They're not ready for the
nope,
truth.
nope, that's all we share here. Uh,
Any closing thoughts, or you feel like we've said it all?
we've said it all. I'm gonna pee my pants.
All right, bye.
Bye.